Every race has a moment when you pause long enough to look around. You check your mile marker. You check your pace. You appreciate how far you've come. Not to stop, but to remember why you're running. Then you lean forward and you keep going. Hebrews chapter 12 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith." A year ago, as a church family, we stepped out in faith to run an unhindered race together, killing debt and increasing our focus on our mission to connect everyone to Jesus, knowing that for us to run this race, it was going to require everyone to say yes. Our primary goal from the get-go has been 100% engagement from our church family, inviting the Lord to consider how we might be unhindered together. Yes, even our kids and our students. Our secondary goal has been a bold sum of $8 million to fund day-to-day ministry, continue church planting, and kill the debt that is holding us back from maximizing our kingdom work. Now, here we are, standing at the halfway mile marker in our unhindered journey, and God is using your faithfulness to do extraordinary things. Look at what God has done. At the midpoint of this 2-year initiative, we're celebrating some big things. Over $650,000 of debt has been killed. In 2025, we saw the most baptisms in a calendar year that we've ever experienced as a church family. We're growing deeper in our faith, deeper in our trust of who Jesus is. Our kids and student ministries continue to grow, and we are a church that is poised and prepared for what God has for us next. And we're not finished yet. We're not slowing down. Our mission is connecting everyone to Jesus. And there are still thousands of neighbors right here in our backyard waiting to be reached with the hope of Jesus. Now, this unhindered race is not about being comfortable, but it's about making room for what God wants to do in us and what God wants to do through us. Now, there's a decision that you make in the middle of the race. And the decision is, are you going to continue your pace, or are we going to push it further? Now, if you're newer to Vibrant or just newer to this unhindered journey since last April, I'm inviting you at this halfway marker to join us and run this race with us. And if you've been on this race with us since the beginning, I'm asking for you to consider 2 things. For some, this race has been one of the most challenging things you have ever done. There might have been some speed bumps along the way that you weren't expecting. And maybe it has become more challenging for you now than when you started. And for you, maybe your step of faith is simply to finish your commitment strong. For others, if you're being honest with yourself, your pace, it's grown comfortable. What once seemed like a challenge a year ago no longer has become a challenge. And as you think about the second half of this race, you know in your heart of hearts that you can increase your pace. And I want to invite you to do exactly that. Friends, we are running the race that God has marked out for our church family. Not exhausted, not distracted, but fueled with hope, keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. And friends, our best days are still ahead of us. God is not finished with us yet, and He's inviting us to be unhindered for the things of the kingdom. Will you keep running with us? Let's go.